Hello and welcome to the channel. My name's Dan. I'm the Happy Idiot, and today we're going to be cleaning out and repairing a Weaver B4 scope. The B4 scope, this is the early style with the exposed adjusters. This is the later style with the typical teardrop plastic adjusters. They were made between 54 and 1966. And this one here is a B6, which is basically the same, just a little bit longer. I believe from here to here it's all the same, just has a different lens and a different focal length on this lens on the front. So today we'll be taking this one apart, the early one. Okay, so the first thing we do is unscrew this ocular piece, because we're going to take the lens out of this. And it's long and it's threaded real finely. There we go. Okay, so what you can do is there's a little cutaway right there in the lens. I don't know if you can see it or if I'll be able to. There's a little cutaway right there in the lens. What you can do is take it, put a screwdriver in there, and then then unscrew it. Or I made this little thing with a little knob right there that goes in that open area. Put it in there and just unscrew it. I'll just leave it on that for the time being. Flip this over. Push the lenses out. Then take this one gasket, put it in there. Make sure it's flush the way it's supposed to go. Okay, so now I'm just going to take t-shirt material, old t-shirt of mine. Pick the one lens up, and when I took these lenses out, this was flipped over on top of it. So when I flipped it back like that, the lenses are going to go back like that. So I'll take this off, the first lens off, clean it, double check, make sure it's all nice and clean. Drop it in place. Take the gaskets. There's usually 3 here. Put those gaskets on there. And then the next lens. Take that. Clean it. Just wipe it off. Usually that's all you need to do. Sometimes you can just blow some hot breath on it. That'll get it moist enough to where you can get anything on it that's off of it. Double check, make sure there's nothing on it, and flip it down there. Put the last gasket on top. Take the lens retainer and screw it on. You want to screw it on tight to where it doesn't rattle, but you don't want to screw it on so tight that you break the lens. And I set this out of the way on my little metal thing. Okay, and now we're going to take this off, this end off. And it's got little slots in it, which I'm going to take it over to my vise. It's got a hacksaw blade in it. It'll fit in those grooves. Just turn it, and it'll unscrew it. Take a look at it. Clean it off real good. Double check. Yep, it's good. Now put that on the metal, a chunk of metal too. All right. So now we're going to take the turrets off. And like I said, this is the early version made in the mid 50s to I think the early 60s. Not really sure, but there's definitely two different styles. You basically just unscrew them off. One's marked L for left, one's marked up for right. So you want to make sure you put those back in the same spot. This is what I'm going to use to push the erector lens assembly. This is a erector lens assembly body for a Mossberg scope. So I'll put it in here. Push the Weaver lens assembly out. Grab it here. Flip it over to the bottom. Basically directly across from this. And that brass thing you see there, that's the crosshairs. So, pick the crosshairs up, pull them out, make sure they're still good. I doubt you'll be able to see them, but they're there, still good. The crosshairs are located into this little hole right here. So we'll take these and we'll put these on the side, out of the side, so they don't get knocked over or anything like that. Put this out of the way. Okay, so this lens assembly, it's got I think 3 lenses in it. This retainer here, this little brass thing, you got to push it down and then push this over to the opening so it slides up. I usually just do it with my finger when I'm taking it apart because I'm going to clean the lens anyhow. And so that's what I did. And then flip it over. There's the lens and that brass retainer thing. Where's... So I got this long Q-tip thing that I use to push the lenses out. Okay, there's the lens. One lens. And there's the other lens. There's a... Let's see if I can see it. Inside there's a brass washer type thing, which usually comes out, but it didn't. Put this on the metal and you'll understand why. Okay, so this is standing up. The body is standing up. These are standing up the way they came out. Okay, so we'll start with just cleaning this lens. Back in place. Take the lens assembly body thing, put it up there, pull this orifice thing off, clean this lens. Put the orifice thing back on there. And I'm holding that spring with my finger, see? So it doesn't come out. Put that on there. Set it over there. It's basically just keeping everything in place while I'm doing what I'm doing. Clean the last lens. Well, it's pretty dirty actually. This lens came off like that. with that standing that way, this would go up on the bottom. So let me get this out of the way. I'm going to pull this, I'm going to hold the retainers, spin it over, spin this over, and then put this little brass retainer thing to where it lines up with the cutouts. Take my pen, I need the light for this. And basically, I'm going to push this down, push the lens down, and then had that backwards. Push the lens down, and then line the slots up for this little brass retainer thing. Slid the little brass retainer thing to where it hooks on the edges right there. And I'm going to wipe this lens off just in case there was goo on the pen cap. Alright, put this back there. So now all the lenses are clean. So I'm going to come back here, grab the body, pull this out, get the reticle, make sure it's clean. That hole there, there's a little nib on there that goes in that hole. And I don't know if you heard it, but it clicked in there. So now we're going to take this, it goes in the ocular side. Kind of want to these holes up so they'll come together and you don't have to turn it around. It just makes it easier. Get my Mossberg tube, push it in until the holes line up. That's pretty close. So I'll get a screwdriver, basically push that back to where it needs to go. And if you look here, the hole's a lot bigger than the screw you need to put on it, and I'll explain that in a second. So put the objective lens back in. Take it over to my vise with the hacksaw blade, tighten it up, put the objective lens or ocular lens, and it's a fine thread, so it's going to take a while. Yeah. And I'm just going to move this with my screwdriver just a little bit so I can get the screw in there a lot quicker. Alright, one of these is marked up, this one's marked up, so it goes on the top. This one's marked left, so it goes on the side. tighten them up, then loosen them about a third of a turn. So, now to focus the crosshairs, you'll move this in and out. If you focus the crosshairs with this, and then your target is blurry, then you move these. There's a little bit of play to where you can adjust the parallax, basically. And once the parallax is adjusted, you tighten them up. And that's how you do it. It's actually pretty easy. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, come back more. I'll be having more of this kind of stuff. I'm Dan, the Happy Idiot. Thanks for stopping in. Till next time.